begin, welcome. Just go ahead and make your way up to the top of your mat. We'll just take a few more moments as we prepare for our practice this morning. You might start with a few deep breaths, just deep cleansing breaths, just to step into self, arrive in the space here. Awareness of your breathing, knowing that this is the foundation of your practice. So just setting the groundwork for your practice. And just continue with slow, steady breaths in and out. Gentle breathing, yet mindful. A way to connect to self. To be a little bit more aware. You're certainly welcome to keep your eyes open, just gazing forward or downward, soft gaze. You can certainly close your eyes. Just move inward. You're welcome to even just stand in stillness as you just concentrate on your breathing. Or if there's any movement that the body needs. Just a little circling of the shoulders, for example. Any movement in your head and neck, even in your hips or knees and feet. Just continuing to check in. Notice how you're feeling. Assessing what you might need for your practice, from your practice, for your body, for your mind. Good. Just holding here now in stillness. Let's just take 3 more breaths. Prepare your body to move. Good. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just reach all the way up. Nice stretch. And exhale, we'll fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just make your way down towards your toes. You might touch your toes, but of course you don't have to touch your toes here. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and fully extend your spine. Feel like you're coming forward, this halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold again, make your way back down towards toes. We'll hold here for several breaths. Just starting to feel that nice stretch and lengthening down through the backs of your legs. And in this forward fold, just noticing the curvature in the spine, that weightedness as gravity draws you downward towards the earth. Notice how that feels all the way down the back body, even right down to your shoulders, head, and neck. And if you want to add some movement there, feel free, a little circling of the shoulders. A nodding of your head, yes. Shake your head, no. You might even stir your arms like you're stirring a big pot of soup. Even a little sway of the upper body, left and right, back and forth. And coming back to center, taking your time, just shifting your weight back into your heels, bend your knees, feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward, extend your arms out to the side, then inhale and come up to standing, reaching into the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center or even down by your side, either one. Just hold for a moment here, reconnect to breath. Let's just go through that same sequence. Our half salute. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. Another nice stretch. Reach high. Exhale, fold forward. A good hinge from hips. Soft knees. Bend them as much as you need to. Make your way down, maybe touching the ground or your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs, extending through your spine and back body. Exhale, fold again. Complete release here at the end as you're able.
Deep forward fold. Now our weight shift into the heels, bend your knees, look forward, spread your wings, then inhale, let's come back up to standing, reach a bit higher, energy through your fingertips, exhale, palms together and down to your heart, or just bring your arms down by your side, either one. Again, just pause, reconnect to breath, slow, conscious breathing, filling up your heart space, lengthening in the spine, core connection. Continue with our sun salutation. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And exhale, let's fold forward, making your way down, taking your time. Never need to rush. Inhale, slide your hands up, the legs extending through your spine. Exhale, fold and bend, bring your hands down to the ground and just step back. Both feet to the back end of your mat until you're in a high push-up position, plank pose. Holding here, couple breaths, just building strength and energy throughout the entire body. Good, breathing in right there. Exhale, bend your knees slightly, send your hips up into the air. Yes, our shortcut to downward facing dog. You can do that anytime in your practice. Yeah, just step into place, just stepping your feet forward a little bit or a little wider on your mat. Adjusting your hands as you need to. Yeah, just so you can settle in, feel good in this inverted posture. Either hold in stillness or add movement. You might just pedal your feet, stretching through the calves and your toes. Let your knees bend. Your hips might even move side to side. If you ever need to rest, you can just bring your knees down to the ground. Let's get ready to move. Take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in, connect to your core center. Bend your knees, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of your mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, sliding hands up the legs, fully extend your spine. Exhale, refold, back down we go. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Let's come back up. Reach nice and high. Let's keep it moving. Exhale right into chair pose, Utkatasana, or a chair-like position as if you're sitting back into a seat. Let's hold here for a moment. You can keep arms straight. You can certainly bend the elbows, open up the heart. Yes. Good. Let's breathe in and exhale. Dive out of the seat down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, extending through spine. We'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, fold and bend. Bring your hands down to the mat. Walk, step, or even hop. Both feet back into plank pose, high push-up position. Again, you can take that same shortcut to downward facing dog. Just send hips into the air or bend your elbows and lower your way down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Yeah. Inhale to a low cobra or upward facing dog. Just be a mild back bend, whatever feels right. Then exhale up onto your toes, lifting your hips up into the air, downward facing dog. Stepping into place. Whenever you're ready to move, again, never a rush. Inhale, extend your right leg up behind you. Reach long, finding the wall behind you. And exhale, let's bring right foot up to the top of the mat. Once landed, let's turn left heel to the floor behind you. Be sure you shift your weight back into that foot so your hands are light. Long spine. Let's inhale, rise up, reaching into the air. Exhale, let's hinge and fold, make our way back down to the earth. Plant the hands, slide right foot back to meet the other. Again, take your shortcut to down dog or come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can certainly bring knees down to the floor first, then chest. Inhale, up dog or cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Just taking your time. You can always hold a posture a little longer. Once you're in down dog, again, just establish your connection to the pose. Maybe a little bit more bend in the knees. Send your hips up a little higher. Root strongly into the ground with the hands. Then inhale, extend left leg up into the air, reaching for the wall. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Once landed, right heel turns to the floor, shifting the weight back. Extended torso, then a nice hinge from hips as you inhale, rising up, reaching into the air. Exhale, hinge and fold. Once again, bring hands back down to the ground. Step back, plank pose. Take your shortcut to down dog or finish that full sequence, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog.
And exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for a couple of breaths. Good. Then we'll make our way down to the earth. Just simply kneel down. Sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front here. And make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back when you're ready. Once you're on your back, just go ahead and hug the knees into chest. Any intuitive movement here. Again, just keep checking in, assessing how your body feels, what it needs. Right here, maybe it needs a little movement. And then eventually just set the feet down onto the earth, knees bent, long spine. Preparing for bridge pose. Whenever you're ready, inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage belly. And then just kind of peel your way up, from the ground, lifting the hips up into the air. We're going to do several things here. One is just for support. Here, you can just hold yourself up, just lifting the hips, or even use your hands to help lift yourself up or hold yourself up, sitting in your hands. You can also slide a block underneath you to sit on for a more supported bridge pose. Okay, that's part one. Part two, you might even bend the elbows here at 90 degrees, where your fingers are reaching for the ceiling, pressing the backs of the arms down into the earth to help lift and open the heart space a bit more. Okay, and then a part three. These are all optional here. Now you can also bring the arms down to the floor so your arms are straight and on the ground. And if you can, interlace your fingers underneath you. This also might require kind of a rocking of the upper body left and right a little bit to get the shoulders and arms more underneath you. So you can interlace the fingers if you are choosing that option. But you can still kind of root down into the ground with the shoulder blades, kind of the upper arm area. All right, that's our bridge pose. Let's take 2 more breaths. Nice. If your fingers are folded, just go ahead and release. Wiggle the feet forward. Maybe even extend your arms behind you or up in the air. That should release the shoulders out from underneath you, then carefully roll your way down to the ground. And once you're down, go ahead and extend the legs out front. Keep reaching the arms behind you. Reach and stretch in these opposite directions. We're going to stay here on the floor for a little bit longer. Go ahead and hug right knee into chest. Just catch the knee or shin with your hands. Just hug it in gently. And we're going to extend that leg up. Now the leg doesn't have to be absolutely straight. You can certainly have a significant bend in the knee. You can even just hold on to the leg with your hands. Okay, just an initial stretch. Nice hamstring lengthening, just up in the air. If you want to add a little bit more of a stretch, you can send your toes kind of back behind you. A couple breaths there. Feel that initial stretch. And then just bend the knee again, hug it in towards body. Release the leg down to the ground. And do the other side when you're ready. Hug left knee in. And then we'll extend that left leg into the air. Hold on to the leg. Again, doesn't have to be a full extension. Knee can be very bent. Just introducing a little bit more of a stretch in the hamstring. One of our featured poses today will be wide-legged forward fold. We've got several versions of the posture, which of course is going to stretch out our hamstrings. Okay, let's go ahead and bend the left knee, hug it in towards body once again. Keep it there as you hug right knee in. Any other intuitive movements here? There might be a rocking left and right, some circles, figure eights, and then eventually start rocking forward and back. Enough momentum, a good breath to rock your way up to seated. So you can come to boat pose, that's it. So sitting, maybe feet lifted, active feet, bent knees is just fine, holding on to the legs, helping you to extend the spine like you're lifting up. And of course, leaning back, we're forming this V shape in the body, nice. Good. This certainly can be done with heels or feet on the ground. We're not going to hold it long. Let's breathe in. And exhale, cross legs, hands in front if you can, or even just to the side. So you can just step the feet back, swing the feet back behind you. Return to plank pose. Strong body. Then take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. There you go. Downward facing dog. Let's continue with the lunge sequence. Let's inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Okay, reach, exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat to our warrior one. Once landed, turn left heel to the ground. Once rooted into the earth, long spine. Inhale, rise up, reaching into the sky. Exhale, opening to the left side of the room for your warrior two. That's it. Yeah, make some adjustments with the feet. Nice deep lunge if you want. Feel tall and lifted up top, outstretched arms. Go ahead and follow your right arm forward, angled upper body. Rotate the arm so your right hand reaches downward, left hand's reaching up. You can reach for the ceiling. You can reach overhead towards the front of the room. Here's another option. Even reach towards the back of the room. If your shoulder is a little sensitive today, and maybe it doesn't feel good to reach up or overhead, maybe just reach behind you. Just extend the arm. Yeah, but still opening up through the front body. Okay, we're going to breathe in. Exhale, turn. Let's bring the hands down to the floor in front. Step back into plank pose, drawing that straight line for strength, energy. Again, a shortcut to down dog. Just soft knees, hips to sky. Good. Stepping into place. Your inhale now to extend left leg up, reaching back. Strong and straight. Exhale, left foot now to the top of the mat. Here we go. Nice wide stance. Right heel plants into the floor. Feel that balance between the feet. Then rise, hinging from hips. There we go. Rising up, warrior one. And your exhale, opening now to warrior two, turning towards the side of the room, adjusting the feet, maybe going out a little wider if you want. Again, nice tall torso, outstretched arms. Follow your left hand forward to angle the upper half of the body. And rotate the arms, reaching down towards the ground with the left hand. Now you could go low enough to actually touch the ground. You don't have to, though. Right hand reaching into the air or over your head towards the front of the room. Or if this shoulder is a little bit more sensitive, maybe you want to reach towards the back of the room instead. Or just keep it lying or resting onto the side of your body. You can still remain quite open, still get the hip opener here. And then when you're ready, an inhale just to open up chest a bit more, ready to move. Exhale, turn, hands down to the floor. Once again, stepping back into plank pose. You can take that shortcut to down dog, or if you want, finish that full sequence, Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, maybe bringing knees to the floor first, cobra or up dog as you inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. Any flow is nice. Yeah, there you go. All right, nice full breath in as you fill up your lungs. Exhale, soft knees, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet here. Inhale, extending spine for monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Okay, we're going to stand. So weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up, reaching into the air. We're going to keep this going. On the exhale, bring your arms down. And then reach back behind you like so. Just reach back like you're reaching for the back corners of your mat. Arms can be out wide like this if that feels better on the shoulders. Stay like this, or if you're able, hands together, interlace fingers here. Elbows can be bent, but if you can, straighten the arms, reaching your knuckles down towards the ground, or heels perhaps. Adding more sensation, maybe you can roll shoulders back, squeezing shoulder blades together here. Yeah, little tip of the chin up just a little, just to really get that opening sensation across the chest, upper chest region. All right, here, a little softness in the knees. Bend the knees and come to a chair-like pose. You don't have to go down too low. The hands that might be folded behind you are just lifting partially away from the body. Knuckles are reaching for the back end of your mat. A couple more breaths right there, yeah. All right, we're going to stand and release fingers, reaching out and up. We're going to flow from here. Exhale, swan dive.
Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, folding, bending, hands to the mat. Walk, step, or hop both feet back, plank pose. Come down if you like, Chaturanga Dandasana, just making the body flow at your own pace. Inhale, up dog or any other back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready to move, inhale to extend your right leg up into the air. Bend and twist open. There it is. Just unwind it and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Let's hold Warrior one for just a moment, reaching high, lunging low. Arms can be straight. You can also bend elbows here. Okay, breathe in. And exhale, open this to a Warrior two. Settle into Warrior two. We're going to get ready for triangle. So go ahead and straighten the right leg. There you go. Now the feet can stay wide like that, or yeah, just step the feet a little closer together if you want to. You can always adjust that. Still feel tall up top. Reach out over the right leg, angled upper body. There you go. And start tipping this over. Right hand down towards the leg. Left hand reaches into the air. Nice breathing, deep breaths as you feel these wonderful extensions. Nice hamstring stretch, lengthening through that right leg. Let's take 2 more breaths here. There we go. To come out of the pose, let's start by bending the right knee quite a bit. Nice lunge, so you can come back up to a Warrior two. Then reverse your Warrior, taking right hand up into the air. There you go. Nice right side body stretch. We're in a windmill, yeah. Bring the hands down to the floor in front. Let's step back into plank pose. You might pause there for a second, choosing how you'll complete your sequence as we all arrive in downward facing dog. So just choose the flow and movement that feels right. Then when you're ready, inhale, extending left leg into the air. Let's bend the knee, bring your heel down towards backside, lifting the knee up. So you get a nice hip opener there. Then you'll unwind it. Step through left foot now to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Right heel plugs into the ground. Rise when you're ready. Inhale. Reaching to the sky. Let's hold that Warrior one. Reach high, lunge low. Again, you might bend elbows. Still moving. Here we go. Breathe in. And your exhale, opening to Warrior two. Settling in. At first, you might have a nice wide stance. But then we'll get set up for triangle where you'll straighten the left leg. Here you might change the distance between the feet. And then reach out over that left leg and tip it over. That's it. You choose the distance, meaning you don't have to touch the ground at all with this left hand. Maybe you're low enough to get close to the ankle or calf, but you might even be higher up, touching the knee or even your thigh. More breaths, feeling this nice extension through the entire body, but maybe mostly in this left leg. Getting ready to move, let's put a deep bend in the left knee, giving us leverage, so come back up through a Warrior two, reverse your Warrior, left hand reaching up. A couple breaths here as you extend and lengthen through the left side of the body. You might reach up, you might reach behind you, or somewhat forward. Let's take our windmill so we can bring the hands down to the floor in front, step back into plank pose, straight line, nice balanced body, finishing your sequence as you'd like. Meeting in downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to take another seat. You can bring the knees to the floor first. Sit back briefly in hero, sit down, swing the legs around to the front. like so. So straight legs, flexed feet. Let's go to cobbler's pose. I'm not cobbler's pose, I'm sorry. Staff pose first. So straight legs out front, energized feet, hands on the ground by your hips. Just press into the floor just to assist your own torso, lifting and lengthening, nice lengthened spine. Maybe rolling shoulders back, heart opens. Lots of energy in the pose, even though it's quite simple. Long straight legs, long tall torso. The exhale, we're engaging core. So we're going to take our forward fold here, keeping strong and tall up top. We'll inhale, take the arms up into the air. Exhale, hinge and fold a little bit, just a little, and then bring the hands down to the legs, wherever they land. Just let them land there. Another inhale to keep that extended torso at this new angle. Exhale, pull belly in, just support, and then move. And just step the hands down the legs a step, hinging forward a tiny bit. And just finding the place that feels right. Now at first you might work with completely straight legs and a completely straight spine. I know for me it doesn't allow me to go very far to do when I do that. Then you can just soften it all up. You can bend the knees a whole lot, even let the back curve and round, allowing you to go a little deeper, okay? That's it. Just going to take 3 more breaths here because we're going to change this up a little bit. Because we are going to take our first wide-legged forward fold in a seated version. So if you've got a hold of your feet or your legs, let's release, reach forward. Inhale, hinge your way up, reach up into the sky. Nice and tall there, nice L shape. Exhale, bring the hands down by your side. Again, plant them into the ground. Just help your torso stay lifted. Soften. Maybe step the hands back a little bit. Lean back so you can bend your knees here. Bring the soles of the feet together. Now we'll come to cobbler's pose. And keep the hands behind you, still pressing into the floor, maybe straightening the arms to get that lift of the torso. Shoulders still roll back, tip chin up. So you might even turn this into a mild back bend as the heart opens, knees open out to the side, and of course your hips open. A couple breaths there. Okay. And you can soften again, maybe looking forward. You still just kind of lean back into the hands. Let's re-extend the legs, but out wide. Okay, as wide as you want to take them. Okay. Again, sitting up nice and tall, pressing into the earth, nice extended spine. Keep the hands behind you at first. Kind of lean forward, and the hands are behind you to kind of keep the spine nice and straight and support you as you lean forward a little bit. You can stay just like this, or hinge forward a bit more. You'll bring at least one hand in front for support, or you might even bring both hands in front as you continue to fold. Same thing as you did when the legs were out in front of you, straight out in front of you. You can bend the knees a little or a lot, even allow your back to round. You can just stay just like this, or get a little playful with this. You might even, kind of go out to one leg and get some side bends and twists, any other movements. Again, just kind of play with this or assess what the body might need as you're seated with the legs wide, getting the stretches and extensions that the body might appreciate. Yeah. Be sure to use breath as your supportive guide. Yeah, just any intuitive movements here, side bends and twists, folds and back bends. Excellent. 5 more breaths. Enough breaths to finish up what you might be doing at this moment. Coming back to a neutral, centered place eventually. No rush. Sometime after that 5th breath, you made your way back to center and just carefully rise back up nice and tall. Again, hands can be on the floor by your side to help you extend spine. Do that same thing. Maybe step the hands back a little bit, lean back, kind of soften the body. Let's go back to cobbler's pose. Let's get that stretch out of the legs. So soles of the feet together, let them fall open. Tip chin up if you'd like to create that mild seated back bend in this cobbler's pose. Good. From here, just transition to boat pose. You might look forward, keep leaning back so you can bring the knees together, float the feet into the air, and maybe grab hold of the legs if you need to. Yeah. You're ready to flow. Here we go. Breathing in, get tall, lift, exhale, cross legs, perhaps hands in front to hop back into plank, or hands to the side. You can swing or step the feet back into plank pose, long straight line. Complete the series as you'd like. Shortcut to down dog or chaturanga dandasana. 4-limbed staff pose, find a back bend, and then moving into your downward facing. Let's continue our flow. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. Just get that nice hip opener there. We're going to unwind it, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the ground. Rising, first warrior. Just going to make this flow. Exhale, opening warrior 2. Good. Side angle pose. Reach forward. Right hand down, left hand up. Still in motion. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor. We're taking it right back to down dog. So once you've planted the hands, slide the right foot back and up into the air. Yes. And then right foot to the top of the mat. Let's go to high lunge. So right foot forward, high lunge. Left heel stays lifted, all 10 toes pointing forward. Hinge your way up. We're going to pause here for a moment. So we'll reach high, lunge low. Arms can be straight or bent. Just kind of get into this left hip flexor a little bit. Okay, we're going to inhale, kind of rise up, straightening the legs, maybe the arms, pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms to parallel. Okay, let's take triangle. So reach out over that right leg, tip it over. There we go. Nice extensions, good openings here. Still moving. Stay in this tipped over position. Bend the right knee a whole lot for a lunge. Then rise back up to warrior 2. Reverse the warrior, right hand up. Stay like that because your right knee is bent, yes, but we're going to straighten that right leg again. Still reaching high into the sky with the right hand as you extend that right leg, yeah. And then bring the torso back up to neutral. Okay, just like that. Now you're going to turn your right foot so it's facing the same direction as your left foot. Yes, I just call this a star shape. Just, okay, here's our next wide-legged forward fold. So breathe in, reach out with the arms, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in. Maybe you could bend in the knees and fold. Okay, just folding, there we are. Fingertips might touch the ground, or maybe you can bring in a block. Maybe an inhale to rise up to fingertips to help extend spine, and exhale to refold. Here, of course, the knees can be very bent. Go as low as you'd like. Even adjust the feet. If you feel like you want to take them out wider, please feel free. If they're too far apart, bring them in a little closer. And just as we did with the seated forward fold, get a little playful with this. Maybe you want to turn these, some lunges, some twists, side bends. Let's take 3 more breaths, because we will be doing this again when we get to the other side. Coming back to center. Once you're back in center, weight shift back into the heels. Bend your knees a whole lot like you're going to sit down. Rise up to fingertips to help extend spine. Extend your arms out to the side. Okay, spread your wings. That's it. Use your strong legs and an exhale to stand up so you're tall. Still that star shape so the arms are out to the side. Let's turn or pivot the right foot forward, lunging into the warrior 2. Okay, let's do another reversed warrior. I'm just going to turn that into a windmill or a cartwheel. So windmill the hands down to the floor in front, step back, plank pose, and finish your series. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Pause at any point. Skip any point you want to as well. Meeting together in downward facing dog so we can do our other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air, reach and bend and twist just to open up the hip a bit. Let's unwind it so you can step through for warrior 1. So first our basic flow, right heel turns to the ground, rising up, good. Opening up to warrior 2. Side angle pose, reach out, rotate the arms, left hand down, right hand into the air. Again, still moving, breathing in. We're going to exhale to turn, hands to the floor, back to down dog. So sweep or slide the left foot back right up into the air. Straight legs. Left foot stepping through to the top of the mat for high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Okay, reaching up. We're going to hold. So I like to reach high, lunge low, straight arms or bent elbows. I like this nice deep lunge because of the hip flexor stretch or upper region of the quad. We're going to rise up, straightening the legs, maybe the arms, pivot right heel to the floor, opening up, prepped for triangle, so straight legs. Let's take our triangle pose, reach out. There it is. Holding for several breaths so we can take advantage of these nice extensions. There we are. Stay in the lunge, okay, or stay tipped over. Let's bend the left knee for a lunge. Okay, come back up. Warrior 2, reverse your warrior, reaching up, maybe slightly behind you. Keep extending, keep reaching as you now re-lengthen the left leg. Straighten the left leg again. Yes, you'll get tall. And then bring the torso back up to neutral. Then you'll turn your left foot so it faces the same direction as the right foot. Yeah, adjust your feet. There you go. For your star shape, let's breathe in, get tall, reach out with the arms. Exhale, pull belly in, bend the knees just to protect your back as you now fold. Once again, returning to our wide-legged forward fold. Once you've made it all the way down, inhale, rise up to fingertips, extending through the spine, energy moving through the crown of your head. Exhale, refold. Settling in, adjusting the feet, either holding in place or more movement, stretches, lengthening, twists. There's even a pose that you can move into, any hand balancing or head stands, anything like that. It's a nice transition as well. Mindful of the breath. Excellent. Take 3 more breaths. Eventually just making your way back to center in your forward fold here. That weight shift into the heels, bend your knees, feel like you're going to sit. And rise to fingertips to help extend spine. Okay, then extend your arms out to the side, spread your wings, perfect. And then rise up standing tall to your our star shape right here. And then turn left foot forward, lunging into warrior two. Once again, let's reverse the warrior, left hand into the air. In our windmill or cartwheel, hands around to the front. Step back, plank pose. Complete your sequence. Nice. Meeting again in down dog. Alrighty. Okay, we're just going to do another variation of our forward fold, or wide-legged forward fold. Whenever you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Let's keep it straight, just reaching long, straight as can be. When you exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. Let's return to a high lunge. So left heel stays lifted. We're rising up, reaching high in the sky here. If you can, keep the arms straight as can be, reaching up, lunging low. And let's add this sensation. We're going to hinge forward just a little bit, angled upper body, dropping the arms down and back. Reach back for the back corners of your mat, or just to the wall behind you. If you're able, interlace fingers. Knuckles are reaching towards that back heel, perhaps. Allow the shoulders to roll back, open up through heart. And if you can, grow tall again, yes, facing forward. Okay. Hug inner thighs towards each other to help with balance. Okay. We're going to straighten the legs, lift a little, pivot left to the floor. Okay. Keep turning so you're facing that left wall, right foot spins around so everything's facing that wall. Okay, adjust the feet, that's it. Soft knees. You're going to inhale, tip chin up a little. Expand the heart, exhale, fold. Yes, we still have fingers folded behind us. If you need to release them, that's fine. Just reach the hands back if this is a little bit too much for the joints, okay? And just go as low as you can without forcing. Just find that natural stop. Maybe your fingers are still folded, but of course you can always release and just bring hands down to the ground. 3 more breaths here. After that 3rd breath, just extend the spine, okay, lengthening, soft knees, big bend in the knees, rise back up, fingers are still folded. Once you're tall, go ahead and release the fingers, reach them out, maybe up into the air. Interlace your fingers up top, okay, spin right foot forward, and your lunge, and you'll be in another version of warrior one. Okay, since the fingers are folded up top. Left heel's turned down behind you, you've got it. Okay, let's breathe in. Exhale, release, fold. Hands down to the ground. Step back into down dog. Just step back, both feet on the ground, hips in the sky. Okay, before we get to the other side, bring the knees to the ground. Knees to the ground, take the knees wide a little bit on the mat, sit back, child's pose, just to extend the arms. Reach. Maybe a little side stretch. So you might take hands over towards the left corner of your mat so that you get a stretch for the right side, maybe 3 to 5 breaths on that side. And when you feel complete, just do the other side. Whenever you complete the second side, take your time with all of this. Just come back to center and just come to embryo pose, which just means instead of having the arms extended out front, bring them back behind you, but relaxed. As if you're just reaching for your feet or ankles, and let your shoulders just go loose. Your forehead might be resting on your mat. Maybe you've brought in a blanket or a block to rest the forehead. Really just let the shoulders relax here for a moment. Okay, especially after that little series. Good.
3 more breaths here.
Moving in slow motion after that third breath, hands come back out to the front, come up to hands and knees. If the knees went wide, bring them in a little closer, or just so they're directly underneath your hips. Let's take 2 or 3 breaths, cat and cow. Lifting head and heart arched back. Exhale, round. Then eventually making your way back into downward facing dog. And do the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg straight up into the air. Just keep the leg straight. And exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, going to high lunge. So right heel stays lifted, shifting the weight back, rising up, reaching up into the sky, keeping arms straight as you're able. Reach high lunge low. We're going to hinge forward just slightly. Bring the arms down and back behind you, just reaching back behind you towards the corners of your mat or the wall behind you. Eventually, as you're able, interlace fingers. Reaching to that back heel. Roll shoulders back, open up through the chest. Squeezing shoulder blades together. As you're able, okay, rise back up so you're perpendicular to the ground. Then we're going to get tall, lift, straighten the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, your torso will turn, and then just turn the left foot. Just spin on that heel, adjust the feet. Soft knees, you're going to inhale, tip chin up, open up through the chest. Yes, fill your lungs. Exhale, hinge and fold. Hands still folded behind you unless you need to release or would like to release. Let's just hold for a few breaths. We're extending the spine, good bend in the knees, you have strong legs, help hinge your way back up nice and tall. Once you are tall, release the fingers, reach out and all the way up into the air, interlace fingers, index fingers might be pointing towards the ceiling, spin or pivot to the front of the room, bent left knee in front, right here, so another version of Warrior One. Inhale, exhale, release the fingers, fold, hands down to the floor. Step back, down dog. Slide the left foot back, hips into the sky. We're going to do the same thing here, child's pose. So bring the knees down. Take knees wide. Sit back. If you want to add those same side stretches, please do so. So maybe reaching towards the left corner of your mat, reaching more through the right arm to get that side lengthening. 2 or 3 breaths, or 3 to 5 breaths perhaps. Eventually making your way to the other side, taking your time with these. And when you feel complete with those side stretches, come back to center, come to embryo. Forehead rests on the ground or a block. Arms reach behind you, relaxed. Let those shoulders just drop.
More breaths. And taking your time, whenever you want to come out of your pose, hands out in front. Rise up to hands and knees. You bring the knees in a little closer underneath the hips. Another round of cat and cow. 2 or 3 breaths or more. And come back to neutral. We'll sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back, another hug of the knees. In towards your body, intuitive movements. And then a hip opener here. Maybe it's happy baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose or any other inner thigh release and stretch that you like. When you feel complete with your hip openers, perhaps another hug of the knees in towards your body. Maybe taking a twist, spinal twist, where you might take the knees over to one side as the opposite arm reaches out to the opposite side of the room. Again, these poses you can hold in stillness and just experience the benefit of the posture, or add a little bit of movement, some gesturing. When you finish one side, if you're in a twist, take your time to move to the other side. Again, whenever you feel complete with any of your movements, return to center. Perhaps extend your legs straight out in front of you, arms relaxed down by your side, resting now in Shavasana or any other nurturing pose, restorative position, where you can allow your body to completely relax. Breath soft, easy. Return to the awareness of your breath. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. As you're breathing in and out, feeling the breath move through your body and allowing movement to return to your body. Subtle movements. And after your 5th breath, take your time and roll onto either side of your body, just moving into a nurturing pose for a moment. Continue to move in slow motion, then guide your way up to a seated posture. And once you're here, just feel the full re-extension of your spine, sitting up tall and proud. Your arms can remain down by your side, hands relaxed in your lap, or bring hands to heart center. And wherever you are, just taking one more breath in and out. As we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.